Have you ever barely not had enough time to steal the cash out? Consider this easy solution. If you just got to the fight 30 seconds sooner, you would have qualified for the next round. Sorry to break it to you, pal. Slow and steady doesn't actually win the race. Or in this case, doesn't qualify for... Speed is everything in this game, and today I'm going to show you 5 essential movement tips that you can take into Season 6, which drops tomorrow. These tips will make you feed, int, and 1v3 because your teammates are nowhere near the fight yet because they're so slow and haven't seen this video, and you should send it to them! Thanks. I'm going to try to keep this as short and concise as possible so you can stop listening to me and go actually apply what you learn. Pretty straightforward. Once we are fast, we want to continue being fast. In other games, there's b-hopping, there's tap strafing, and in the finals, to be honest, we have Walmart versions of these mechanics. But that doesn't mean you can't schmove. The most practical and frequent place you're going to gain speed is off a jump pad. The question is what to do once you land with all that speed and how to maintain it for as long as possible. We have a few options. We can land and start sprinting. We can land and start sliding. We can land and start b-hopping. Slow. Here are the rules of momentum preservation in the finals. The floor is lava, or molasses or something. As long as you are touching the ground, the game is attempting to bring you to a standstill. You should aim to be in the air as much as possible.
Mister, let him know. Doesn't that mean I should just jump every time I hit the ground?
Jumping or b-hopping is good until it's not. The finals has diminishing returns on jumping, meaning if you jump too soon after already jumping, you will get less and less height over and over until you're basically not even leaving the ground. Your jump basically has an invisible cooldown, and there's no way to teach that, you just have to feel it. Sliding is a good way to continue horizontal momentum, but you need speed to begin a slide, and unless there's a slope, you will end the slide with the same or less speed than you started with. A combination of these rules is the key to keeping your speed and adrenaline up. You just sent it off the jump pad and you're about to land with a ton of speed. Start by jumping as soon as you touch the ground. This keeps you airborne and starts your jump cooldown. You will preserve almost all of your momentum during this phase, so you are still going quick. Before hitting the ground again, hold your slide input to ensure that at no point are you technically standing on the ground sprinting, which is slow compared to how fast you were currently moving. Now you're in the slide, and the next step is to jump. I can't teach you the timing for when you're good to jump out of this slide for the maximum height. You just kind of have to feel that timing. It's pretty easy to get down. You'll figure it out. At this point, you're still pretty quick, or at least traveling faster than sprint speed, so you can fit in one more slide jump. By that time, you're at least a little faster than sprint speed or a little under, so you can just start sprinting from this point. Congratulations, you have traveled halfway across the map off of one jump pad. Remember, just b-hop, slide jump, slide jump. The window tech is by far the most useful knowledge I can give to any player, and this will instantly level up your gameplay if you just take some time to learn it. It's really not hard. Some people call it a window jump, window vault, window hop. I call it a window tech. I don't care what you call it, just do it. Every map has somewhere where you can hop from floor to floor and scale entire buildings in seconds on any class without using cooldowns or the slow stairs. To perform this tech, climb into a windowsill and face the interior of the building. Look straight up, walk backwards, then jump. Once you're in the air outside of the building, look up and hold your forward input and spam your jump key, aka your mantle. You can chain these back to back to scale buildings much faster than the stairs. I really have nothing more to say about this tech other than once you have it down, you are going to be uncatchable if you abuse it. And if you're wondering if there's a way to get onto the roof from the windowsill, I'm like 99% sure I've seen somebody do it at some point, but I also have a terminal illness called spreading misinformation online-itis. So my advice is just to climb to the top floor and then use the railing on the balcony to make it onto the roof. And just so you're aware, like, even though I call this the window tech, it can be used in all sorts of places. Here's a clip of me climbing the entire front of the cathedral on Monaco. This is a pretty well known one, but there's many of these that you can do on many maps that abuse this, and it's useful. Learn it. You just have to get creative. I feel like most people's caveman brains can mostly figure out how these work. There's not much to them. It's just
Me press E, me go we.
but there's a little nuance to them. When you attach to zip lines, your speed is set to near zero no matter how much speed you had when you attached. Landing on these with a ton of speed can sometimes give you some pretty crazy whiplash. But as you progress along the zip, your speed increases to a maximum, and depending on the angle of the zip, you'll hit that speed limit faster. Mainly, I just wanted to talk about how I never want to see a single person ever ride a zip all the way until the game forcefully kicks you off itself. Exercise some free will and show everybody that you can in fact jump off by yourself. Seriously, do this every time. It is a night and day difference of speed if you just jump slightly before the end of the zip. Vertical zips also can give you some decent height, meaning on suspended structures, you can actually jump to the top floor directly from the zip without having to go through the stairs. Also, quick note, you can do the window tech thing on the suspended structure to avoid taking the stairs at all. Just a quick note. Something else to bring up about zip lines is zipline dancing, which I personally don't think I've actually ever done in game. I don't think it's super useful because most of the time I'm not on a zip while I'm fighting people. I just kind of use it to like jump off real quick. But if somebody is shooting you and you're on a zip and you're committing to going across the whole zip while they're shooting you, it's good to jump off and jump back on. Just know that your speed is slightly hindered every time you jump off and jump back on. Oftentimes, if somebody is shooting you on a zip, there's probably another way to reach your destination at the end of the zip just about as fast as if you just hopped off anyway and did some window tech or something. Now, I've given you a ton of ways to avoid taking the stairs with the window tech and the zip lines and the jump pad stuff, but sometimes they're going to be the most convenient and quick way to get up a building, especially after you learn this tech. Instead of walking each flight, just mantle each railing, spin around, and then mantle the next railing on the staircase above you. I make it look easy, and that's because it is. I don't know why people think this is hard or don't bother learning it. If you are fighting somebody near a staircase and you know this tech and they don't, it is the easiest way to either escape from your pursuer or catch up to your victim. This effectively eliminates half the stairs you would normally have to climb, and it is at least 2 times faster, depending on how clean you time it. The only thing you have to be slightly careful of is to take into account how tall your character is. If you're on heavy, you'll have to go further away from the middle of the railings, as you may bonk your head, where a light could easily slither through. It looks harder than it really is. Just try it next time you find yourself at a set of stairs and practice it. It's super easy. Alright, well now that we got the stuff that all classes can do out of the way, let's talk to the people that are actually still watching the video at this point that really want to move fast, the light players. Listen to me when I say this, I mostly play heavy, but more often than not, I am beating the other 2 classes to the objective by 50 plus meters sometimes, and I just don't think that should be the case, which is part of the reason I'm making this video. Why are all of my randoms so slow? Anyways, if you're watching a video on movement, you're here because you like to go fast, and therefore are probably a light player. Well, here you go. Here's a couple of things that you can do on light specifically. I'm going to speedrun these. You can dash onto jump pads. You remember when I said you should be sliding into every jump pad? Well, if you have dash, you should be dashing instead of sliding. Just dash slightly before going onto the jump pad and you're suddenly on a different map. That's how far you just went. You could also do this with grapple, but generally I would recommend saving your grapple until after you go off the jump pad and finish your B-hop double jump slide so that you can do it again after you cancel your grapple. The bread and butter of movement is chaining all the tricks that you know together like it's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. The second thing I want to talk about light specific movement is gateways. You can dash through gateways, you can grapple through gateways, you can jump pad onto a gateway. Your momentum is transferred 1-to-1, so abuse this to get the jump on unsuspecting players. And the third tip is that it just sounded better if I had 3 tips for lights, but I don't actually have another one, so I'm just here to tell you that if you liked the rest of them, please Subscribe, because I need motivation to make more videos. Or don't, because you think this guide sucks. I don't know. You do you, bro. So there you have it. There's 5 and a little extra movement tips that you can take into Season 6 and move faster than me, hopefully, so I don't feed, because I'm tired of waiting for you, man. Again, this was meant to be only practical stuff, because Big Embark likes to remove all the fun text and stuff that I'm usually not fast enough to record gameplay of, because I'm too busy doing them. But if you want a video on the more ridiculous stuff, let me know, and I'll try to get a compilation of them going. Thanks for watching, and until next time, let them know.